Hi YouTube, hope you're well. Today I'm going to talk to you about 4 kinds of exercises that you need to be doing in your daily life to keep active and healthy. So you're probably doing maybe one of them, maybe 2 of them, but there may be 2 elements that you are not doing. So let's jump in. My name's Sally. I'm a health counsellor, so I help people who are making a change in their life to be healthier, look after themselves. I'm also a yoga teacher, so I love working with people and their physical body. I have trained in psychology, although I'm not a psychologist, I'm on the pathway for that. I think as we age, we really need to pay attention to the type of exercises that we're doing. So maybe you are doing some cardio. So we'll start with cardiovascular activity. So that would be walking, riding, swimming, running. So where you get your heart rate up. Within cardiovascular activity, there's a range of sort of levels. You can have low level cardiovascular activity, which is maybe where you go on a stroll, where your heart rate's not getting up that high, but still a walk is good. Then you have moderate, which is where you've got your heart rate up, and when you're walking or running, maybe running may be more high, but moderate is where you're walking and you've got your heart rate up, your breathing is slightly pressured. So if you're talking to a friend, you can sort of get a sense that your heart and lungs are working a bit harder. So really it's about getting that heart muscle going for a prolonged amount of time. And that's also going to be pumping blood nicely through the brain. So there's so many benefits of cardiovascular activity. High cardiovascular activity or vigorous physical activity is where you're getting your heart rate up, and it's harder to sustain at such a high rate, but it's nice to do interval training with cardiovascular. So do a minute of getting your heart rate up really high and then a few minutes of moderate. So it's nice to mix it up as well. So cardiovascular activity you definitely want to be getting, and 2 or 3 times a week, every day if you feel like it, having a rest day if you need it. The next one is weights training, so some kind of strength training, and this you could use dumbbells, you could use your own physical body weight, you could use resistance bands. So you want to be working to keep the muscles strong, to maintain muscle mass as we age. So even from the age of 30 we start to lose muscle mass, so it's an uphill battle to keep the muscles strong. You want to be paying attention to your nutrition to make sure you're getting enough protein and all those other healthy foods that you need to help you maintain that muscle mass. So some kind of weights training. So if you've done weights training before and you have an idea of how it goes, then you can schedule a couple of sessions a week, maybe in a home gym, or you could join a gym. There's definitely different videos on YouTube that explain like a beginner's weights workout if you're getting back into it. With all of this, if you have any injuries or any physical complaints, definitely get checked over by a physio or a doctor if you are starting on a new exercise program. The third one, which is resistance and mobility. So it's all very well to go for a walk, but if you don't actually keep the posture in alignment, work with the spine, looking after the spine. So in between the bones are ligaments and tendons and muscles. And so we want to be looking after all of that. So we want to keep mobility, which is the range of motion through all of our joints, but also flexibility. So we want all the ligaments and tendons to remain supple and strong at the same time. And we know that as we age, our ligaments and tendons do have a tendency to kind of shrink in, which is why we lose height as we age. So part of the resistance mobility is keeping everything open, stretching things as we need to. And it's also a nice, really great stress relief. So you're going to get your mobility and flexibility through something like yoga or Pilates. It's nice to have a daily morning routine that you go through when you get up to get everything moving in the morning through all the joints. And it's also nice to have regular scheduled Pilates or yoga. And you can do this on your own, where you're working on maintaining the core muscles and maintaining that flexibility and mobility through the joints. So for example, there's someone I know in my neighborhood who is a walker, and I see them walking very briskly, getting in their moderate cardiovascular exercise. However, they are obviously have some sort of desk-based job, and so they're doing a lot of forward work, which means their shoulders have rounded forward, which means they're walking with like a hunch in their back. So if they continue to do that, everything just shrinks in and this hunch becomes even worse. So working on opening the shoulders, opening the chest, doing all of those exercises means we're going to maintain a lovely straight spine with our posture, which is going to be so important, and we'll carry that through our day as we do our cardiovascular exercise. So we want to be thinking about overall skeletal muscular health, and cardio and flexibility and mobility and strength are all important. The final one, which often gets neglected, is balance. Our muscles are these kind of reflexive strands, kind of to put it simply, that help us balance. And now, as when we're younger, we have great balance, and over time, those muscles, as they weaken and decline in mass, it's easy for those reflexive strength in our muscles to decline. Also, if you think about when you're balancing on one leg, think about those. You might get a bit of a wobble in your ankle, but that's all those tiny stabilizing muscles around our feet and ankles that are helping us stay balanced. So balance exercises are so important. So we want to be balancing on one leg, even balancing on two legs. In yoga practice, you'll be getting balance practice. You might be getting balance practice in some Pilates classes, but you can do it yourself when you're brushing your teeth. For example, you can just stand on one leg for 1 minute and stand on the other leg for the other minute. And as you get better with your balance, you can challenge yourself by letting your eyes look around the room. You can close your eyes. If you are new to practicing balance, you might want to practice with a wall beside you to help you. You want to focus your eyes on one point. That's going to help you when you're first starting out with your balance. So balancing is a really important one. Something else which I haven't mentioned yet, which is kind of an extra side thought, and that is bone density. So some people who do swimming, for example, think, well, that's my cardio, but swimming is not weight bearing at all. So some kind of jumping or jogging or weight bearing into those bones so that they get to bang. They need the bang. It's the shudder of the joint, the leg, the bone hitting into the floor that causes the shock that helps that bone to gain strength, to stay dense. So people with low bone density have not been getting enough jarring sort of weight bearing, which is why jumping is good. So look into that. If any of these areas you feel like you're not getting what you need, then do a bit more research, go down the rabbit hole and explore it further. I just wanted to give you an overview today. So those are the exercises: cardiovascular, strength, flexibility, mobility, we'll put those together, balance, and then some kind of weight bearing for bone density. Okay, hope you found this useful, guys. As we age, as we hit 45 and over, it's really important that we pay attention to these things. I hope you found this useful. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, you are my only marketing tool. So please share this video with a friend. Tell someone that you found it helpful, and maybe even like the video, share a comment. Tell me which area maybe you've been neglecting in your exercise, and we can talk about it in the comments. Great to see you, YouTube. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.